There's so many things we do in life that we're not crazy about, but we do it because it's ultimately we know it's the right thing to do, like cleaning your toilet. This is the Begin Within podcast, where we believe real, lasting health and fitness requires you to start inside before you work out. I'm your host, Nate Slegger, and I'm here to show you behind the scenes of fitness. You already know exercise is good for you, but what about all the other things in life that affect your fitness? If you're looking for extra motivation to get started or to make sure you keep going, this is the place for you.
Produced by BeginWithin.fit.
Recently, Kelsey Larson, a registered dietitian, and I had a little bit of fun fielding questions in a Facebook Live Ask Anything session. And today, I want to share our answers with you. Perhaps you've wondered some of these same things, or you just want to see how we did when we got put on the spot. You're going to enjoy this episode. Before we get started, if you would like to join the free Facebook group where we have these live sessions as well as daily workouts, fitness and nutrition tips, I will put a link in the show notes for you to go and do that right now. So put this on pause, go and join the group, and then come on back and listen to the rest. Here is my Ask Anything session with Kelsey Larson.
First one. Here's one you probably get a lot, Kelsey. So I'll let you take the first stab at it. What's the best diet for weight loss? What would you say?
Yeah, it's a good question. I guess I would say, well, for one, the number one thing is what works for you, because not one individual diet is going to work for everyone. You know, you might talk to a friend who followed a keto diet or someone who maybe is following a no sugar added diet and that worked really great for them, but that might not work for you. You know, maybe one of your main food groups is fruits, and you know that would then not be a good option for you. So finding a diet that best suits you. But I am a firm believer in eating, you know, more whole foods based diet. So getting fruits, vegetables, whole grains, you know, just less processed foods. I also think that there is a good, if you can get a good balance, if you're eating, you know, maybe not so great foods, just less frequently, so that no foods are off limits. I think that's where we see success for people.
Okay, cool. All right, nice. If there's anything you think of adding, jump in. I'll agree
absolutely.
heartily with what you said. And, you know, first of all, if you want to lose weight, and that's your main goal, right? Generally, you have to eat less than what you were eating before, right? Just as a general principle. And you can correct me if I'm wrong. You're the expert in this field, but I would say, first of all, right, that sometimes people look for like tricks and gimmick, you know, not a gimmick necessarily, but they're looking for like a secret, like some great way that's going to just get them amazing results as quickly as possible. And the bottom line is, if you're somebody that wants to lose weight, then eating less than what you have been eating is generally the answer. So any path that works for you to do that is going to be one that will take you in the right direction, right? Eventually.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, eating in a calorie deficit, and I think the fact that if you're incorporating, you know, more fruits, vegetables, whole grains, you're getting more fiber in your diet, and fiber is, you know, is a component of food that is going to help keep you full for a longer period of time. So definitely, I do agree with that statement for sure. And just kind of to bounce off of that as well, is the patience is a really big component, is having patience. Like you said, it's not going to be like this quick fix or a gimmick or whatever the case may be. It's going to be that consistency, and being patient. That's where we start to really pull apart from people who are, you know, yo-yoing versus people who are seeing long-term results, is that patience and consistency.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and I might add too, if there's something that you really want to try, and it doesn't seem like it's going to necessarily be unhealthy, right? It's nothing like really, really radical. and it's just like, man, I really want to try it. I really want to try it. And it's just sticking in your head, then go ahead and try it, right? Like give it a try. And I think probably the best thing that can happen, and maybe like at the very least, what will happen is you'll learn about yourself. You'll learn about maybe your relationship to food in a different way. So give it a try. Like just realize, the end result is finding something you can do consistently, and eating less is going to get you, to help you reach your weight loss goals, as long as that's your goal.
Yeah. And also seeking professionals as well, just their knowledge, or hopping again on something like this, one of the Q&As, listening to one of the podcasts that Nate has is going to be a great way to just get the information in the most accurate way possible.
Cool. Awesome. Thanks for the podcast plug.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, bounce your ideas off somebody, right? So hey, Linda, thanks for joining us. Linda says, I hate relationship to veggie. Oh, I have a hate relationship to veggie. I don't think that's true, Linda. I don't think it can be true. Veggies love you. They want to help you.
Is that what she said?
She has a hate relationship with veggies.
Oh yes, I have a few tips for you then for that, for sure. Sure. Yeah, so I guess just from my experience for myself, not being the greatest with vegetables, but I know how important they are. I found different creative ways to incorporate them in my diet. And a few ways I've done that is I'm a big person on blending in vegetables so I don't taste them or see them. So a lot of times, like, I'll put them in smoothies. So believe it or not, if you add, a handful of spinach, you're not going to taste it. You're not going to see it when you make a smoothie. All you have to do is add in, some Greek yogurt, maybe a little bit of fruit, a little bit of, milk, and you'd have a smoothie with the veggies there. Other things that you can do with vegetables, I also do like to blend them in with like a tomato sauce or an Alfredo sauce, whether that's cauliflower, broccoli, and puree that in. Again, can't taste it, can't see it, but you're adding that to a sauce for your meal. So if you really don't like to eat it on the side, that's another great way to do it. Finding different ways to prepare it, whether maybe you're taking a sweet potato and you're chopping it into like little fries, and putting a little bit of olive oil on it, that's another way you can get your vegetables in by, maybe you're air frying them, maybe you're grilling them, maybe there's a certain recipe that you found that looks really good. What if you tried substituting that with a vegetable in order to make that meal work? So cool. Yeah, those are just a few tips, but Nate, do you have anything you want to add on that?
Oh man. I don't have anything to add on that. Like, that's definitely your area of expertise, maybe finding ways to sneak them in or get started with them. I would say having them, no matter how you got to have them, is better than not having them.
Agreed.
In my opinion, right? So even if you have to add something that you might feel like, oh, well, that's not healthy, right? And that's not necessarily the case. So maybe like some cheese or salt or, oh my goodness, even butter, like just so that you can start making vegetables a palatable thing for yourself. And maybe that's where it is for a little while for you. Just so you're incorporating, you're getting those vitamins and minerals and fiber into your life, and see what happens from there, right? You can always work on making it healthier once you already have some habits in place to add some veggies in.
Yeah. And I was going to say too, if Linda, if you're, someone who eats no vegetables in a day, I'm not judging you, but one thing that you could do is, even if you're just adding it in, I'm going to try to have one vegetable at lunch every day this week, or wow, I've made it now 2-3 weeks on one vegetable at lunch. What if I added one more at dinner too? Just slowly introducing it, as it becomes more and more natural, adding in 1 or 2 more servings at a time, until you get to maybe that recommendation, of 3 to 4 servings a day. So.
Okay, cool. Yeah. All right. My last thing I'll add on veggies is we do a lot of things in life because it's healthy for us, not because we are crazy about how it tastes. Right? Like sometimes, oh, that's gross, I don't like it. Well, like it's good for you, right? Like there's so many things we do in life that we're not crazy about, but we do it because it's ultimately we know it's the right thing to do, like cleaning your toilet or whatever, changing the oil in your car. Like there's all kinds of things. Like
Yeah.
no one enjoys it, but like
Yeah.
we do it because it keeps us healthy. It keeps our area clean. It prevents problems down the line, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I think, for me, there's definitely veggies I eat that I'm not like, oh my goodness, I love every bite. This is so delicious. But it's just like, you just do it because it's good for you. It's what your body needs. So
And I think too, Nate, I'm here, what I'm kind of hearing too is it's become a habit for you too. You're eating it, yeah, whatever, like you don't really put a whole lot of thought into it. It's because you've established a habit with it too.
yeah, absolutely. And I'll give my wife a shout out here too. Like she's an awesome cook. She's a chef. She really is. She's awesome. And she makes healthy foods taste great. So we should have her on here maybe sometime. She can give us some tips.
There you go.
Linda, I'll have her reach out to you. All right, cool. Let's move on to another question. We got a comment from John who, he said, when it comes to weight loss, he's lost 15 pounds. He lost 15 pounds in 2 weeks with exercise and eating healthy. So
that's great.
Says I have diabetes, diverticulitis. Is that, John? So eating the right amount of carbs and maintaining blood sugar and eating quite a bit of fiber, and at the same time losing weight. It's challenging, but it can be done. So cool. Thanks for the comment, John.
Good for him. Awesome.
Good work.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Here's kind of an interesting one here. I'll make sure I get it right. It says, my friend told me I need to sleep less to lose weight. What's the best amount of sleep to get? What do you make of that, Kelsey?
Yeah.
You ever heard of anything like that? Too much sleep?
Honestly, I've heard more so the opposite, to be honest, making sure that we're getting enough sleep, prioritizing sleep. I guess I don't know the general rule of thumb. Is it 7 to 8 hours? I don't know if you know, Nate, but I do know that adequate sleep can actually affect our metabolism. So if we're getting less sleep, what happens is our stress hormones go up, which then also increases our hunger hormones. Ghrelin goes up as well. So what happens is less sleep equals more stress equals more increase in your ghrelin hormones, which means that you're going to be craving food much more. So anytime we're stressed, anytime we have lack of sleep, that's what can happen is we then actually tend to be craving food much more. So that's why sleep can actually be really important to make sure we're getting enough of. But yeah, I guess that would be my comment. Do you have anything to add on it?
I would totally agree. I haven't heard of that before. I mean, thanks for the question, but I'm not sure, like you said, the background of the friend here or what the specific case is, but in general, like we need sleep. Most of us are probably not getting enough. So yeah, I think 8 hours is still the standard from the research I've done. There's a really cool book called Why We Sleep by Matthew Walker. If sleep's something you want to dig into, like that is a great place to start. But just in terms of like dealing with stress, and even just like getting the recovery we need for ourselves from the damage we did during the day, like sleep is super important. So as well as getting a reset on just the digestive process and everything, like all that happens while we're sleeping. So it's super important to make sure that we're getting enough. And I would also question, like, if someone's staying up late, what types of things they're doing. A lot of times I know for me, that's when I'm gonna probably be eating or drinking things that aren't gonna support my goals. I shouldn't say things I shouldn't, because I mean, once in a while we have some fun, but there are things that aren't, if I can consistently do it, I stay up late, I'm eating junk, fun foods that aren't supporting my goals, So I would say, it's healthy for me for a lot of reasons to make sure that I'm getting to bed early enough to get my 8 hours of sleep.
Yeah, yeah. And one thing I was gonna add too that I just thought of is I know that there's another podcaster out there. It's called like the Mindset Mentor, and it's by Rob Dial, and he has done a ton of research on the benefits of sleep. So he has a few podcasts on that with tips and things of how to maximize your sleep and all that kind of stuff. So if that's something you're interested in, definitely look him up as well. Rob Dial is his name. And that might actually give you some more information too in regards to sleep itself.
Cool. Thanks for the resource. Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So again, if you're listening, awesome. We're so thankful to have you with us.
Mm-hmm.
Throw a question in the comments if you got one. We have Kelsey Larson, our registered dietitian, here with us tonight. So, all right, cool. Let's grab at least one more here.
Okay.
All right. Why can't I stick to a diet for more than 2 weeks?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe somebody's asking for a friend.
Could be for a friend. There's always a friend.
What would you say, Kelsey? So just an answer to that. Well, if someone asks, just
Mm-hmm.
walked up to you and asked that, hey, what's my problem? Why can't I stick to a diet for more than 2 weeks? What would you say?
Mm-hmm. I would just be like, well, what are you currently doing? What is working right now for you? What do you feel is your biggest struggle, or what's hard for you right now with this? It's only been 2 weeks. Have you tried something in the past? Did something work with this plan? What did work, what didn't work? Again, that's the biggest thing that we, process when we're trying to figure out if something's successful or not. It's been 2 weeks. Maybe do we need to give it more time? Is there just something that we can fine tune on that, whether it's related to nutrition or their exercise regimen or physical movement? So I guess that's where I would kind of lead that conversation. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Awesome. And like I said, if you think of more to add, feel free. I would say this, and this might be a little bit direct,
Mm-hmm.
but if you're trying to do a diet and you feel like you're just falling off way too fast, you can't stick to it, but for maybe just a week or two, and then, I just can't do this, then I would say this: the diet, it's too hard. The diet's too hard, right?
Yeah. How realistic is it?
Yeah, absolutely. So maybe there's things in your life that could be set up better to support you. So you can look at your environments, just getting organized, getting the fridge organized, setting things up on your kitchen counters to support you, to make it easier. But then also just taking a look at the diet itself and what you know about yourself, and just saying, hey, can I simplify this, right? Can I maybe just do this 50% of the way for a week or two until I get some skills developed and some momentum going, in order to, kind of go all in after that. Right. So my response there is to be like, hey, it's too hard. Like, that's okay. Right. It's just too hard for you. Either make it easier or set your life up in a way that will work with your diet goals.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, like, one of the a big example that I have that comes to mind is, like, there are certain people that have told me before, well, I can't eat, it's after 7 p.m., and I'm always like, well, where did that thought process come from? Why is that, and maybe you're someone who works until 10 p.m. and you're up until, say, 2 a.m., why is that 7 o'clock your cutoff? That's not realistic for someone. So definitely, like you said, figuring out what's realistic for them and what works best with their lifestyle.
Okay, great. Okay, we have a question here. Thanks for sending it in. And then we'll do this one, and then we'll wrap up. So if you have more, feel free to put them in the comments. Kelsey and I can answer them just via text in the hours and days to come here. So feel free to put them in the comments if you have other questions for us. This one says, I used to look at boards at nutrition clubs, seeing people who have lost 100 pounds. I'm like, holy cow, why isn't this working for me? So yeah, I mean, I guess, Kelsey, I'll let you have at that question as well. I mean, and my heart goes out to you, because I know that this process can be frustrating. Everybody's different, and it's tough when you're looking at somebody else's after picture, right? And you're feeling like I'm in there. Like, am I ever going to get there? Am I ever going to get results like that. So like keep that in mind. I think just being balanced about seeing those pictures and realizing like that nutrition center or fitness center, they're going to brag about their biggest and best results, right? They've had probably hundreds and thousands of people go through, and there's a handful of like amazing results. And who knows how long those people were working on it as well. But what would you add, Kelsey?
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. You might see pictures in the gym, and of course we want to celebrate our clients' successes. We're very proud when we see people achieve such amazing goals. But I guess my comment with that would be, we don't, maybe we might know, but like when you see just a picture, we don't really know their story. Did this take them a year? Did this take them 5 years? Maybe 10? We don't know how long this took them. We don't know maybe what they went through to get to this point. Was it slow and steady? Was it maybe not a healthy way to get to it? We don't know a story based off of one picture. We don't know, maybe they were in the gym training 6 a.m. every day, 5 days a week, and were very, very consistent. Maybe they were, meal prepping every week, even including, holiday season. We don't know what level of commitment they were at to see their success. But I will say the best thing you can do is, if you see something like that, is to remind yourself, how important it is not to compare to someone else, but to just compare to yourself. Like, what can you do for yourself to better yourself today, tomorrow, the next day? As well as, talking to the professionals, the people in the field, talking with staff, with trainers, with maybe people in the nutrition field, talking to people maybe who had, a transformation or something that you're looking for, to get advice from them, people who've also went through it. That would be, I guess, my answer to that question.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah. And I would add, like, that's a snapshot in their life, right? Even that after picture, like, it's hard sometimes to say, like, where's that person now? So if they stopped trying, if they stopped moving forward, if they stopped trying to get healthier, likely they backtracked as well. And I've seen that, sadly, times where people have gotten amazing results, and then they kind of just like, hey, I'm done. But if you're not moving forward, you're going to be moving backward. Like, it's really hard to just stay the same. Like, oh, I lost my weight, I'm done. So
right.
Just to add to what you said, Kelsey, like we all have to keep trying to move forward regardless of where we're at. And maybe one other thing is just be real careful about how things are influencing you as you're looking at them. Maybe you see those pictures and it's like super motivating for you and it takes you to a good place. And maybe you look at them and you're like, oh, I feel, you don't feel good about yourself. I would say just be real careful to edit the types of things that you're focusing on, so that you can fill your environment with things that are supporting and encouraging you, whatever they may be for you individually, rather than things that may be bringing you down and causing you not to feel motivated. Yeah,
I really like that. One thing I've always done for myself, like kind of more of like a mindset check, is, what if maybe you're looking at these pictures in a gym, maybe you're looking at these pictures or comments or captions on social media, and I always ask myself this question: is this serving me or emptying my cup? Is it fulfilling or unfulfilling my happiness right now? So I think sometimes just re-asking yourself those questions in the moment too, when comparison is there, or maybe judgment or fear or anxiety, to ask yourself those questions, because maybe then it will, pull you back from that, or taking you out of that negative environment or negative mindset, which I think is more so rewarding than anything. And it really helps you learn more about yourself too.
Yes. Okay. Nice. Great. I think that's a great place to wrap up. We're getting heavy. We're getting deep here.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Well, thank you all so much for your questions. Like I said, if you have more, feel free to pop them in the comments and we'll get back to you. But thanks for tuning in. We'll do this again. This was fun. Thanks, Kelsey.
Yeah. Thank you, Nate.
If you are tired of feeling frustrated and disappointed with fitness, and you're ready to get on the path to being the healthy person you want to be, just go to beginwithin.fit and click the Join Our Challenge button. We can't wait to support you in your fitness journey and help you to get the results you deserve.